What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the biology lab, dissection lab, whatever you want to call it. I've got some OG second gen true tungsten frogs that have seen better days. This is the first gen. This is a second gen, and I'm going to chop them up and see what the big differences are. The first gens were pretty stiff. Not terrible, but they were definitely stiffer than they should be. And that's why they didn't last long. And that's why they came out with these second gens. And they are extremely soft, extremely buoyant. They both are really buoyant, but these weigh a little bit more. Just a little bit thicker material that they used. This one lost its legs, and I was going to put some blades on it. Just didn't work out, so I'm just going to chop it up. You can see the belly weight there. This one got absolutely destroyed up north. Pike, dogfish, a bunch of bass. The weight came out, which is pretty unusual because these weights usually never come out of the frogs. So I did a little, what is it, foam. Put some foam in there just to see how it would work. I probably should have put like an 1/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce lead weight or tungsten weight just to weigh it down, but it's really not a big deal because I've got a bunch more that I'm going to tie on. So we're just going to cut them open and see what the major differences are. It looks like there's some other differences with the line ties and everything. I think the hooks are identical, so let's just get into it. You can see both of them do have the drain port on the back end here, so you can, when you make the cast, you can throw the water out or you can squeeze it. But they really don't fill up with the water that much, so really good frogs. So I'm going to cut these right down the back. I know it's crazy, I'm chopping up super rare discontinued frogs. There's really not a whole lot that goes into making a soft frog. It's really the mold that you have to get. That one's got rattles. All right, so there are some differences inside. Here's the foam that I injected. Stuck in pretty well, actually. Really, if you want to make it buoyant, that's a really good way to do it. Just inject a tiny bit because it expands, and then smush it down. You don't have to worry about your frogs sinking, just because they'll have the buoyancy, kind of like filling a boat. All right, so here is the second gen true tungsten inside. Rip this guy off. I also super glued the nose because they tend to tear because man, super glue is good stuff. All right. So there's the inside of the second gen. Hook, line tie. And then here's the first gen. The first gen's line tie is definitely smaller. Just the connection's a little different. A little different style. It's weird that they went away from that. And then, let's see if I can pull this guy out. This first gen has 2 rattle. Looks like it's got 2 rattles on it. They used just box tape, taped around. I can't believe it stayed around and sticky for, I don't know, 15, 20 years, something like that, however old these are. So the first gen has rattles on it. 2 little rattle chambers. And then its hook, identical hooks it looks like. I mean, the hooks are fantastic on these baits, so glad they didn't really change those. But the inside There's the lead weight. They kind of taper it and put the mold around it, so it makes it extremely hard to pop out. I mean, these are some of the best. There you go. They don't pop out. It's very, very rare unless they get absolutely destroyed by a pike. So there's the inside of the first gen and the inside of the second gen. I don't know if you can see the thickness here. The first gen is definitely thicker. I would say probably by 50% than the second gen. So all they did was cut the mold or the injection down. That's why these weigh a little bit more. That's why these are extremely soft. But that is, and then they tie, all frog manufacturers tie the skirts inside. Yeah, this thing weighs nothing. That thing is definitely heavier and much, much thicker. That's why they're so durable. And that's why they float so high. They don't really sink. They have lots of buoyancy to them. Also, the first gens used stick-on eyes, which they always came off. And then the second gens, they just painted the eye into the mold, which is so much nicer. Awesome frogs. They walk extremely well. They come through cover really well. They had a fantastic high hook up ratio. Just awesome, awesome baits. This is why I have a bunch of the second gens. I got a bunch of first gens as well as my pre-fish tournament. Just because the hookup was a little, I would say probably 15 to 20% less, just because of the thicker plastic and the harder plastic. The second gens are fantastic frog. Absolutely amazing frog. Really hard to find. Really expensive to find right now. I mean, they're going for like 30 or 50 bucks depending on the color that you have. So awesome baits. There's a dissection. I'm kind of bummed that they didn't put these in, and maybe they just didn't do it in this one. I don't remember them putting them in any of the second gens. Rattles are kind of nice, especially walking over thick mats or lily pads. Instead of just getting the visual of the shadow over lily pads, it's usually just that black shadow or the black profile. So having that little extra sound is kind of nice, especially when you're popping and walking. It, you know, kind of nice to have. There you go, guys. Did a little dissection. I know it's crazy. You're gonna kill me. Dissection of some frogs. True Tungsten first and second gen frogs to show you the difference. Definitely the thickness on the plastic they use. Smash that thumbs up, guys. I appreciate you for watching, and peace.